This is a Golden Rule Media Associates Conversations event. Enjoy. I want to thank you guys so very much for being a part of this whole thing. We have an amazing show for you today, and I am so excited to have these ladies on the show. Oh yeah, so listen. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. 1970s, you know, they did these big things. We're going to be talking about this. It is the ladies of SKYY, guys. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hi.
Hey, Yaya.
Hey.
Hi, Yaya.
Woo-hoo. All right. I'm so happy to have you guys on the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. I went back a little bit and we talked. I mean, I just kind of like touched on everything, but you guys did so many amazing things in the music industry. Somebody want to take the realms and tell me, guys, how you got started?
Oh my goodness. We started in high school, junior high school. We've always had a love for singing and for music. And in the house, even I would say we got started as little kids in the house because my parents always played music. And hey, we took to the types of things and music that mommy and daddy were playing, and we all used to sing in the house. And then by the time we progressed into high school and got into choruses, then we learned a little bit more about, you know, technically the technicalities of performing and singing.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. To me, it's just amazing what you can do when you become a group of people in comparison to like a solo artist where you're depending on other people to do things. How did you guys like know who was going to do what and all that stuff? Because I mean, that's just like there's three of you, but then you guys grouped up with other people. I mean, there's just so much stuff you've done. It's just amazing.
I think we just knew. Yeah. I don't, you know, that is the weirdest thing because like Denise said, we used to do a lot of singing in the house and in front of the mirror. I don't know when we really realized that, you know, each other's part, you know, singing harmony, but we all were in the same, were taught by the same choral teacher. So that could have had a lot to do with it when it came to know what, you know, what part the next one was going to sing. And Denise always had a very, you know, strong voice. Dolores and I were those sopranos and the alto and, you know, and so being taught by the same teacher, I think that's how we knew where to fit musically.
It's so good.
We even talk in harmony. I mean, I think it's sort of this very natural sort of thing. The gift that God gave us actually wound up giving each of us the section, you know, your natural selection in terms of your voice part. So when we go to even talk, sometimes we talk in harmony. I don't know how that comes about, but I guess it's just the gift.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, I saw here, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but are you guys sisters?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Born in the same family. Okay, so who's first?
I am. I'm the oldest, but I'm the baby.
It's me.
And then it's me. I'm the youngest, but I'm the oldest, and I'm the middle one. I'm everybody.
That is so cool.
I'm everybody.
Cool. That's so tell me about your career. I mean, you guys literally were born together in the same family. You worked together. I mean, tell me about that whole relationship. How did that work out for good for you guys?
Well, you know,
Dolores.
Yeah, because we are sisters, we were raised to be close. And so the closeness, especially like Bonita said, when we were singing in chorus, we were in mixed chorus at the same time. So, and then singing in talent shows and people's weddings, and because, like I said, we were raised to be close as sisters, like almost like triplets, if you could say, we just sort of like moved in the same step. You know what I mean? Especially when it came to performing, we just like, it just flowed.
Wow, that's so cool.
It was
And
easy.
you wouldn't imagine Dolores and I lived together for years.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
For years. When I say years, I mean years.
Yeah.
We lived in either we lived in the same apartment or we lived in the same building for years.
And that close.
Yeah, my mother raised us just to be very close and very harmonious with one another. You know, she didn't tolerate us getting into, you know, arguments and fights and fussing all the time. And so, you know, like we said, we're like Dolores said, we're almost like triplets, even though we're a little bit over a year and some change apart. Mommy raised us to be very, very close. And so everything that we do, or, you know, whatever venture we decide to, you know, to take up, we just do it together. You know, it's just a natural thing for us.
That is amazing to me. I mean, I love it when you have family that work together and they stay together. Okay. And it's just amazing. And I love it. I love the way that you guys do these things, and you, the music in the 70s all the way till today. I mean, you guys haven't stopped really. So tell me some of the big highlights that you guys just, it's just couldn't believe happened. I couldn't believe that happened.
Well, I think, you know, getting signed, like going back to the beginning, when we first got signed to Soul Soul Records, and you know, hooked up with Randy and Solomon, it was very exciting for us, because it was the embarkation of our first, you know, professional career. We'd done talent shows, you know, local things, weddings and things like that, you know, early on from high school until our 20s. But once we met Solomon and Randy, part of the thrill for us was actually getting a record deal, going in, recording our first album. That was really, you know, a major leap for us. And then I guess the next leap was actually getting that gold album and gold single for Skyline.
Oh, come on.
And then going on the road, you know.
Wow.
But then there was also
the road was, I mean, we were fortunate because our mom and dad, we traveled all the time. Our mom and dad, every year we went somewhere different. But once you start, you know, you get that record deal, you off and on, you hear your stuff maybe on the radio. But once you start going on the road, then you really realize, oh, this is for real. You know what I'm saying?
And so, this is my job.
That was serious a highlight.
Yeah,
I love that.
This is your job.
Yeah.
This is your 9 to 5. Only it's 9 at night to 5 in the morning.
Oh, come on.
It's a different 9 to 5.
Come on now. Come on. And to me, it's like, you know, when you get that whole thing and you got that's your job and that's what you do as a living. When did that really, really settle in? I mean, going on the road, doing what you got to do, you come back. Did it settle in when you got back, or did it settle in when you were on the road and you went, oh my gosh?
We never settled in. We worked temp. As soon as we came off the road, all the three of us worked temp and worked for the same temp agency.
Oh my gosh.
So I think we were always, because our mom always said, don't put your eggs in one basket. And so we would come off the road and maybe be home for maybe a week or two. And before we'd go back out, we'd go to work.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. I love it.
And, you know, it's interesting. I think for us, because we loved music so much, for the longest time, we didn't look at it as the music business. You know what I mean? Like the success that we achieved over time happened over a period of time. And so what people would consider, oh, wow, you know, I finally made it. We loved what we did so much that it was just like work, but work that you love. You know what I mean? So it's hard to describe. And I think that's the reason why we've continued to do what we do, because we don't necessarily measure our success. We're along for the ride, and we just enjoy what we're doing so much. We don't put a measuring stick on it per se.
Wow. You ladies have done so much. What is like the best thing that I mean, not really I would say the best, but like the best way of putting it would be the highlight of the career that you've had. Each one may have a different highlight. It might be working with someone, doing a duet with someone, on tour, opening up for people. I mean, what was the highlight of each one of your adventures so far?
Well, for me is when we did Dallas Stadium with Stevie Wonder and Patty Austin, Lakeside, Quincy Jones, James Ingram. That was like, and we had just finished doing 6 weeks in Disneyland. And we did, that was our last show before we were coming home to film a Schlitz Malt Liquor beer commercial. So it was back to back, but to sit up, because we came on like first, we opened the whole day. And so to sit up all night and wait for Stevie to come on stage. And then we said, okay, now we can leave.
Oh, wow.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Wow. And for Bonita?
I think I want to say the highlight for me, and this is one of the highlights because there's many.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the biggest highlights for me was getting the phone call from Soul Train, Solid Gold, American Bandstand. Those were, I mean, Soul Train, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. And then American Bandstand was a show. The three of us used to sit with our parents and watch. You know what I'm saying? To actually be on these TV shows that we have sat and watched over the years was just absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. And to meet these icons in that type of business was really that started my highlight for me of our career.
Wow. Well, see, I would love to have said that one, but American Bandstand was the one I missed.
Oh,
but Dick Clark was the one that realized that I was missing, and I really appreciate that about him.
Wow. And Denise.
So I have to say that the highlight for me was every foreign performance that we did, Japan, Germany, Italy, it's just always Africa. It's always just been very fascinating to me to go to another country and to have people singing your song word for word when they don't really speak English. That was a huge highlight for me. And it sort of helped me to realize just the impact that we were making, not only nationally, but worldwide.
And I think the highlight for all three of us, even though Dolores had to pick up in the middle of that particular tour, was touring with Kool and the Gang.
Oh,
that was the biggest,
that was amazing.
I can say success for us was being on that long tour with Kool and the Gang. What a special tour. What a bunch of special men. And it was just, there was nothing that can compare to touring with them.
I'm just so happy for you guys that you guys had that, that whole thing from like being young to all the way through to, I mean, just this is amazing. But the music industry has changed from then to now. Things are way different.
Different.
Oh my gosh. How have you guys been able to, have you had to change over? I mean, what are you doing now?
Well, the fun part is we're still performing. We're very fortunate to be able to still be relevant in the music scene. And now bringing in a whole lot of young folks, as well into the music that we're doing. But I have to say that through the efforts of Austin, my husband, Bonnie's husband, we keep this little machine called Ladies of Sky just rolling at every opportunity. And we're certainly love doing shows like this. People like you, Miss Yaya Diamond, certainly keep us current and, keep us before the public eye. And again, for the love of what we do, we're just taking every opportunity that we can to be seen and heard.
Definitely. I appreciate you guys so much. And you do have a new single out. Love at First Sight. Tell me about that.
Yes, Love at First Sight. Well, that came about because the French, going back to my earlier comment about how much we're appreciated internationally, a French production team by the name of AP Connection in France wanted to do a compilation album with various American artists, funk artists in particular, and R&B artists. And we're just very privileged for them to have thought of us and chosen us to join in that. I think it's about a 16-song compilation. Nice. And Austin and I got a chance to write the lyrics. My sisters made a huge contribution to what the song ultimately became. Right. Certainly singing Love at First Sight a lot better than Austin, I have to say.
Yes.
And so
he puts his best foot forward.
He won't get hired for that.
He puts his effort into it, and it always makes me laugh because he is just so into that line. Oh,
yeah, he gets into
it. That's so good.
Him over the top just to sing that part.
Wow. You know what makes me happy? You guys. Sisters, staying together, doing what you do. You touch my heart. I tell you that much. To stay together, to help each other out. Have you guys had to deal with anything on the road that really being there for each other meant the world to you at any particular time?
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you. We, Yaya, were very, very, very fortunate that we didn't have any major snafus, you know, on the road. So I think that just being there for each other and making sure each other was okay, and not just the three of us, but making sure the Solomon was okay, making sure Butch was okay, making sure Gerald was okay, making sure Tommy was okay, making sure Larry was okay, Wayne, all the band members were okay, making sure all the road crew were okay. So I think because we had such a great team when we toured as SKYY, as we do now as Ladies of SKYY, we've been very, very, very fortunate that we have not had any major incidents where we had to really be there, you know, for one and another, except for when our road manager stuck the Q-tip down in his ear and they couldn't get the cotton ball out. But we, you know, we really haven't had anything I could say major that, you know, we had to really stay strong for each other.
Well, I'm glad that he got the Q-tip out of his ear.
He did get the Q-tip. He did get the, you know, we had to rush
that was
to the emergency
for Ronald.
Like, we told him, stop sticking those Q-tips in your ear, you know, but he didn't listen. He didn't listen.
Nope.
Wow. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for being on the show. Love at First Sight. We're going to go ahead and play that. But before we do, Ladies of SKYY, is there any suggestion that you might want to give to those people who want to prolong their careers, work together as a family or even as friends, close? What do you tell these people?
I hope you can hear me. I think the best advice we can give anyone is to perfect your craft and to just make sure that you are absolutely providing and giving the audience the best possible performance that you can give. And also to please understand this business. It has changed considerably since me and my sister started. And so now you're an independent artist. You can actually be successful as an independent artist. So you just have to keep your grind up. That's all I have to say.
Yes. And I say to those, please don't sell yourself short for that dollar. You know, too many do that and wind up in such a terrible, terrible situation. And I'm talking about the young men and the women. Don't sell yourself for the dollar. Keep your integrity intact, and you will last much longer.
Yeah, and for me, it's think very, very carefully and clearly about what your brand is going to be. Stay true to that brand, and think about 20, 30 years from now. Are your grandchildren going to be embarrassed by seeing you or hearing your music?
Wow. Well, that's a big deal right there.
Yeah.
That is a big deal right there. And I know that your sister was walking, and so we lost her a second, but that's okay. I want to thank you guys so much for being on the show. Thank you guys so much for
You're welcome.
taking that time. I appreciate it. You guys have touched me. You're mentors. You're women. You're like, I feel it. I feel it. And I definitely love the fact that you guys have remained together and that you love each other even more today than you did yesterday.
Yeah.
And I need for someone to please introduce Love at First Sight for me. But before you do that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to go ahead and go to ladiesofskyepk.com and check it out. That's 2 Y's. 2 Y's. ladiesofskyepk.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming at you, the Ladies of Sky, Love at First Sight.
Haven't you
enough of the part-time love?
Haven't you had enough? Haven't you had enough? Haven't you had enough?
I did to be different.